Hello. Thank you so much, Jess, and so excited to be here. Let me get my presentation pulled up for y'all here. Well, yeah, super excited to be here today. I'm VP of Product Marketing at Attentive. I'm excited to talk about how and why to combine SMS and email for higher engagement. This is what's called orchestration, if you guys are familiar with the term. But a lot of times people don't really actually know what orchestration is. And simply put, it just means sending different messages to people on different channels for different reasons. So in my personal life, I think about it when I have multiple messages going on with people and different, Instagram DMs and text messages and other places. But in reality, in marketing, this is, often SMS, email, push notifications as well. So the idea is that you want to send someone messages on the channel or channels that are most likely to get them to purchase and cost the least. So that's really the goal of orchestration. But let's talk about a few ways that you can use channel preference, some real examples to increase revenue and decrease opt-out. So for example, if somebody's opted into email and they open every single email and you could probably just keep email them more, they love it. And you're probably not going to burn them out if they're opening all of them. However, somebody who's less engaged with email, you might want to send them texts instead. Now, if they are engaged in both channels, then you want to be a little bit more conscious about maybe you send them messages like cart abandonment in a sequence and not send them on both channels at the same time. So you're not bombarding them and annoying them and getting them to opt out of your channels. But for orchestration to be possible, a person needs to be opted in to get messages and in more than one channel. So from like SMS and email in this example, and those profiles have to be connected internally. So for opt-ins, our patented two-tap process leads to higher opt-ins, and which is compared to reply Y or 2FA, two-factor authentication. So more people signed up means more phone numbers that you can pair with emails. And having more people into your opt-ins means that you can do more orchestrated journeys. What gets interesting here is that our data model distinguishes between profiles and subscribers. So profile is a person and everything that we know about them. A subscriber is a specific contact point like an email, and a phone number, a push token that we can use to message them. So for example, someone may have multiple email addresses. You have your work, your personal, you probably have like a burner email you use for promotions and stuff. And we can recognize our activity from all of those different emails, but only send the one that's opted into to marketing messages, for example. So we're constantly linking these profiles and subscribers. You can see my colleague Eric here, how he's got different emails and numbers, but we can all link it to this one person, Eric, and make sure that he's getting the right messages. Since SMS is usually added after email, a lot of the orphan contacts in a CRM are actually emails, and we work to unify those by matching them up with phone numbers that we collect later. And so we kind of retroactively applied that. So for orchestration to make an impact, those connected or unified profiles need to have useful data attached to them. So real shopping, engagement, etc. And a lot of platforms make brands handle their own data collection. So big enterprise tools hand over an SDK and you have to instrument that yourself, and it breaks every time the site changes. SMB tools cut a lot of corners and rely on Shopify feeds, which just miss a lot of valuable events. So the end result is that you have fewer signals and just weaker profiles. And at Attentive, we take a different approach and we do the instrumentation ourselves, make sure every site event is captured and tied back to the right person. So that means we track browsing history even before somebody subscribes. So let's say that I browse on Monday, I buy something on Tuesday, I sign up for SMS on Thursday. All of that activity is stitched together into a single enriched profile. And we don't lose any data when those things merge together. So if someone signs up with one email at checkout, then adds SMS later, we keep a full history. And our identity resolution connects those identifiers across channels. So activity tied to an email can enrich the phone number and vice versa. So we have the richest possible view of a person, which gives us smarter orchestration, segmentation, and journeys. And because we unify the profiles across channels, it means that we can help you segment smarter. So you're not wasting money texting somebody who's already active on email, because texting is a little more expensive, and we can filter out those subscribers who are unlikely to buy. So just saving some money there. And our advantage comes from the data breadth and depth. So we capture the most on-site engagement events and process all these deliverability signals from carriers and have all this historical engagement on subscribers. So when it's time to run the campaigns, we make it super easy. With universal segments, a definition like viewed a product in 90 days automatically pulls the right profiles across SMS, email, and push. And then you can orchestrate these multi-step, multi-channel workflows with juggling without all the manual juggling between all these channels. So maybe you send an email first, follow up with a text only to the people who didn't click, or vice versa. Most revenue comes from trigger journey from brands. So super high volume email senders tend to see more campaign revenue, but most of our customers see a higher volume of revenue coming from journeys. And we send the highest volume of cross-channel journeys and provide drag and drop editing for fast and complex orchestration. And because we have stronger identity, we recognize more people, we can put more people into those journeys and make it simple to build out. Showing which channels they show a preference towards and make sure that, we can report on the performance of each of those nodes within the journey. So you can compare the performance of messages, like performance of messages to single and multi-channel subscribers, like somebody's only opted into email versus email and SMS. You can start to really understand that better. So for example, if you find that an SMS only subscriber who gets a text shortly after a period time does better than somebody who's a multi-channel subscriber, you can learn and like tailor your strategy accordingly. So takeaways for orchestration, for it to matter, you need to get people to opt in to both channels. You need to make sure that they connect and unify profiles and attach a lot of relevant data to those profiles. And those results should be that they can send campaigns with more efficiency and larger journey volumes. So I won't go too detail on the attentive platform, but as I mentioned, that identity is really at the core of like tying back to the mobile phone number in order to feed to the data platform that creates that universal profile and then powers our personalization engine that drives one-to-one messaging across channels. So for example, a few customers, Marley Lilly, they do personalized monogram products. They were struggling to scale. Running SMS and email on separate platforms made it tougher to deliver seamless experience. So by bringing both channels together, they unlocked a more connected strategy. So they leverage AI Pro to dynamically target high intent shoppers, optimize send time, simplify email with tools like heat map and universal content. And it became a more cohesive, engaging campaign that drove stronger performance across email and SMS together. Stonewall Kitchen's a gourmet food brand, and they wanted to grow their customer base. So they were really focused on driving more, using our attentive AI to see how much they could recognize more visitors and use that to build smarter segments. So with AI Pro, they used Audience AI to build smarter segmentation and Send Time AI to make sure that they were delivering at the right messages at the right moment. Saw some great results from that as well. And lastly, so Ollie, their vitamin gummies, I love these. They want to take their SMS and email program to the next level, but they have strict regulations as a health and wellness brand. So they need a solution that it can improve personalization and grow revenue in real time. So they used our AI Pro as well to recognize more site visitors and our audience's AI and Send Time AI to make sure that they were segmenting to the people who had the largest affinity to buy and sending at the right time as well. So if you're interested in learning more, there's some thought leadership here around 15 email and SMS coordination strategies that you can download here as well. And if you just want to read more about our email solution, you can leverage this QR code as well.
Hey, that was awesome. Thanks so much, Summer. I'm actually curious less about the attentive tool and a little bit more about just SMS and email strategies. I know you shared a lot of really great examples, but what I'm curious is how, like, through all of those examples and through the examples of the brands, how do you think people are like really creating like two-way conversations in today's, like, using that combination of AI?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, so what's interesting is, I mean, obviously promotional, about like Gen Z respond really well to value focused messaging. And so those are always going to be the most effective. However, we see that millennials are actually interested in providing feedback more often. There's a lot of ways to use messaging in a two-way. With traditional SMS, you can do kind of like, hey, respond 1 for this, 2 for this, 3 for this, and people are able to like really interact and share their preferences with you. We found that that's really impactful as a way to kind of create the two-way conversation. And with RCS, which is a new type of messaging protocol that Google is rolling out with all the carriers, there's actually even like buttons that you can, it's like come a survey that you'll be able to do within the messaging.
Wow.
So it doesn't always have to be promotional. We find that Gen Zers actually also like exclusive drops and things. And so by creating a little bit of excitement around new releases and drops, like that's a great way to kind of so you're not just bombarding them with promotions all the time. Boomers, for example, really love to, they like to hear more about, they like to leave reviews. They're much more loyal to a particular brand, I would say, than Gen Z. And so understanding all of your different audience, you can create the right type of messaging strategy, and also understanding which channel they're most interested. Somebody at different times of the day might be more likely to open an email versus an SMS. And so, using our AI, we're actually able to like help you figure out their channel affinity for you, as well as understanding like what time of day and which person is most likely to convert when, so that you're automatically sending messages at the most appropriate time.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually one of my next questions, just a general AI comment, like of what you're seeing in the space about like testing AI for subject lines and send time optimizations. Like, I do think that that's like such a dope use case to use AI for. Like, if you're not ready to release it in like one-to-one conversations, you can at least use it in like content creation. You can use it in like testing, A/B testing. One more question actually before you go, and because I'm just kind of curious about your personal opinion. What do you think feels creepy to a consumer? Is it over personalizing an email or over personalizing an SMS? And I know that's like more of a personal opinion, but I'm curious
Yeah.
about your thoughts.
No, we've actually done a bunch of surveys on this, and it used to be that people found personalization creepy, but now actually we're finding that like we did a recent consumer survey of over 600 consumers. We do like a monthly pulse check. We found that 75% of them actually will switch loyalty to a brand that does create more personalized content. Like people need to break through the noise. They're being bombarded with like 6 times as many brands as they used to.
Yeah.
And so it's not creepy to personalize. I mean, like I think everyone's used to triggers of like, you left something in your cart and things like that. So that's become the norm. It used to be kind of like, wait, how did you know I left something in my cart? Like that's normal. We know that all that identity is attached. I think obviously if you're pulling in information that like isn't obvious, like it might be, hey, I heard your dad died, like that might be a little bit weird or something, like but for like the standard personalization of, hey Jess, like we know you're interested in beauty products, would love to share this new product, people like that. And it's not I wouldn't say it's creepy these days.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I'm keeping you on because there's just a couple of questions that we want to answer. I know, hopefully Dennis's question was answered because we talked a lot about like age demos. But there was a couple more here. William's asking, so specifically on Attentive, since we use Attentive for SMS and have a separate vendor for email, can we achieve seamless SMS and email orchestration in this type of setup that you
definitely can. It's just that the profiles are not going to be enriched in the same way. And so while there's integrations, and we definitely work with other ESPs and emails, like if you're using us for us, a lot of our customers, we started in the SMS space. We have a lot of customers in SMS who use other ESPs. It's just that enriching the unified profiles tied to the phone number is the way to identify more people. And you're going to lose some of that when you have an email first identifier with an ESP integrated with a mobile first. And so that's where we find that a lot of our customers see more, we see about a 20% increase of recognized subscribers on your site when you have the two under Attentive.
Yeah, that makes sense. For sure. A couple more questions before I let you go. Sorry. Is your AI developing segments based on their profile, and do you have predefined segments based on AI profiling?
Okay, I think that was a little tricky, but let me try to
Yeah.
answer. So we do, yeah, we are developing segments, but it's more based on affinity segments. So like, who are the people who are most likely to buy? And so our AI has our audience's AI is a part of our AI Pro product, and it does like help you to define the segments based on all the information that we've captured from our identity solution. And so I'm not sure. The predefined segments based on I don't think I might need to follow up with you offline on
Yeah.
getting more information on that that
Yeah.
question.
And then just last one from Alana. Does AI Pro personalize recommendations in email?
It does, yeah. So we
Yeah.
just recently launched AI Pro for email a few months ago. So everything that we did AI Pro for SMS for our customers who've been using that, we now do with email. So it's understanding the right audiences through AI and targeting the right send time, brand voice, and increased identity solution as well.